Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. The time now is 1300 p.m. That is South African time. That is 11 a.m. GMT on a Saturday morning. That is the time that we will be recording the weekly webinars. So if you'd like to join live, you can look out for the links on our social media platforms. I'll show you the links just now. If you go to our channels on all our videos under the description, let's just go to this one. You will find the links to all our social media platforms. So if you'd like to attend the webinar live and be able to ask questions, you can look out for those links under our Telegram channel. Also in our website. If you go to our website, that is elliottwaveprinciple.com, you will find the link for the live webinar right on the home page. The daily webinar is obviously for members. The weekly webinar, this is the webinar. It is going to change. As you can see, it's changed to Saturdays. That is the live one. Saturdays, that is 10 a.m. GMT. I need to get this right. Sorry, it's 11 a.m. GMT and 1300 South African time. That is where you can find us live. And then obviously this will stream every Sunday at 10 a.m. South African time. That is 8 a.m. GMT. So Sundays, look out for the premiere on YouTube. You'll find this streaming there. And you can ask questions. As it's recorded, I'll be able to answer any of your questions via the live chat there as well. All right, so our next course is just a week away. Starts from the 3rd of August. We'll be starting a 10-day course then. If you're interested in the course, go and book on our website. Inquire about our once-off 30% special that is only valid up until the next course. So inquire when you make a purchase for the next course. It's only valid for this week until the next course starts. 30% special. You can inquire for that when you make a purchase. All right, so let's get started with trade recaps and look at our chart of the week as well. So for the last 2 weeks, let's start with trade recaps. We'll start with gold. Obviously, we all know how gold has played out. 2 weeks ago, we had gold as our chart of the week. This is where we took the setup on gold. This is where this is specifically in our trading room. When I post this on the social media platforms, I do not show you this. This I do not show because I'm not giving you advice. I only give advice to the members in the room. So this is where we entered the specific entry. We were waiting for this one to just get out of the side, outside the flag and then make a move to the upside. And this was 2 weeks back. Last week, we saw gold making a move all the way up to this level around the 18. Let's just open this up around the 18, 16, 18, 20 area. From there, it made a corrective structure. After it made that corrective structure, let's just go back to it again. After this, it made this corrective structure, which I have posted in all social media platforms as well before it happened. So all these setups that you see, they've been posted on the social media platforms before they happened. And this one was the latest one on gold. You can also check it out on TradingView. This is how this one has played out. We have reached the target that we've been calling for of 1900 on gold. That is over a $140 move from this level. This was the first setup, and we made a move up here. We made this correction. Both times, this was freely available on all our social media platforms. This was even available on TradingView. You could have followed this one on TradingView. Let's just go straight to TradingView so you can see how this one is played out. This is gold. Let's just go to my ideas here. I have posted gold setup before it happened, so you can benefit from that. I hope you did, most of you, because we have been watching this from when it started right here. So this was the entry, looking for all those 5 waves on gold, and this is how we have played out. We have hit it to the 1900. So we'll be looking for continuation pattern to the upside on gold. It is not done. We're not seeing any indications of reversals as yet. We're still looking for more upside. Let's just have a look at what gold looks like currently. As you can see, it's just an impulsive move. This wave 5, it does not look complete because the indicator is not showing us a reversal. We do not just look at the structure and the numbers, we look at the indicator guides us as well. So we don't have an alternative like most Elliott wave traders. We only have one bias, and that bias must be confirmed by the indicator. If it is not confirmed, then we don't even take that trade. Right, so we'll talk about the trade of the week shortly. So that was gold, and that is how gold has played out. I hope you all profited from that. Right, so at the same time, we had the silver trade set up, targeting 1900. Silver hit the target of 19, not 1900, my apologies, of 19 on silver. So silver last week hit the target of 19 and crushed it. So this is where we were last week. As I indicated, silver had a better chance of pushing higher last week. If you watched the video, I've indicated that silver was going to go all the way to the upside. We have now gotten all the way to the upside, and the next move on silver and gold is continuation to the upside. It's just too expensive to buy at current levels, but it will still continue to the upside. The indicators are still telling us that the trend is still up and still intact. That is how silver has played out. All right. Now, this is the whole move on, that was a whole move on silver. Next one, what we traded in just this last week was a drop in US dollar yen. It only makes sense that US dollar yen drops while gold is pushing higher because they are inversely correlated. So that was what you see there on US dollar yen dropping from that entry there. All right, so that is what we have there. And our trade of the week is Pound Chief. This is what we had. Posted this one up. It is available on our social media platforms. You just have to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and check it out on our website. You will get this trade. This is a trade of the week. So last week when I posted this one, I was expecting this corrective structure. We have now got the corrective structure. As you can see, it is now played out. Is this ready as yet? So that is what we're going to be looking at. So, but as for what we're looking for this one to make a move down there. We're looking for this level here on Pound Chief. That is our trade of the week for this week. All right, so gold is still playing out. We're still looking for gold. Now, guys, we have to be honest. Trading is a practical game. We are forecasting the move. Sometimes you don't get it right. So for example, if you look at this one, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that we get all the trades 100%, because if I was getting trades 100%, I would be a billionaire right now. So I get as much as I can out of the market with the strategy that I have. And it is enough for me to get the returns that I'm getting with this strategy. So this is what I was expecting: 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and I was expecting another 3-wave move to the downside to get this move. So that is what we had on CAD. So let's see how this one is played out. As you can see, we had that drops about 30, 40 pips there, and then makes a reversal. So the structure has changed, and that happens. That is part of trading. Okay, so if things like this worry you when you're trading, then you're not ready to be a trader as yet. All right, so this is Ripple. Now, this will discuss more on the crypto webinar. Look out for the crypto webinar immediately after this, premiering at 11 a.m. South African time. That is 9 a.m. GMT. So this is Ripple. We got the Ripple right here, and a move to the upside. We're not going to look at the cryptos right now. We're going to look at them on the next webinar. But Ripple is playing out pretty well. We have broken out here. We've got this move to the upside. So that is how that one is playing out. Some of the interesting setups that we have got. This is what wave theory gives you. You are able to focus more than one move ahead. So here we had a focus of a move to the upside and a move to the downside, which both those moves on CAD Chief have played out. You see that CAD has now pushed up higher. We've now pushed up higher, and we are dropping with this one. We're still expecting a further drop on CAD Chief. All right, so some of the setups that we had in the week, you can check them out. You can check how we traded in the week on our page. You'll see how we traded some pairs like a euro US dollar, the impulsive move that you saw on a euro US dollar. Let's just have a look at this one. This is one of the crosses, Audi Chief. If you look at Audi Chief, we've called out right from the reversal area here on the blue box. As you can see, right into the blue box, drops as expected, not a peep higher, not a peep lower than the blue box. It gets in there and drops. That is what we have. That is how we focused, right? So wave theory is very accurate, especially when it is supported by the indicator that we use. So that was Audi Chief. If you look at this one, this was natural gas. Most of the Elliott waivers have been expecting a drop on this one, but we know how wave theory works. So this is why we expected natural gas to push a bit higher. Okay, we actually expected a move here first, but then it makes a double correction. Even when it was making a double correction, we were still convinced that it was going to make a move to the upside, because that is how wave theory works. So that's what we had here on our page. So there's many more which you will see when you start with the analysis. Now, this was the chart of the week. You'll find it on our Facebook page. You'll also find it on our Twitter profile as well. You can follow us there. Another one was platinum. Platinum a couple of weeks back. I called out for this one. If you look at this one, this is what we're looking at on platinum. Has pushed up higher. And this is what we got. I remember 2-3 weeks back before this played out, I showed you how when I sent a friend of mine a setup on our local stock, that is Anglo American Platinum. I don't necessarily trade platinum itself. What I trade is the stock itself, Anglo American Platinum. Let me just see if I can find it quickly. All right, so this is AMS. This is the conversation I had with one of my friends, and I actually shared this with a number of family members who also trade stocks. So I gave them this trade setup. If you look here at the communication, I was telling him, if you're still trading, buy AMS on Monday. You remember? So he says, okay, he'll check it. He was asking for the target, and I said, I'll send you the target, right? So with stocks, we buy and hold, because we buy it on the daily, we buy it for a couple of days. That is why you see my strategy is mostly swing trading. So he was asking about the target now here, and this is the setup on AMS that I sent him. If you all remember, about 2-3 weeks back, I've shown you this when this was playing out. This was on AMS. Let me just reshare the screen so I can share the whole screen here. Let's share the whole screen now. Let's share the whole screen. Well, before that, I'll come back to that screen. So let's just have a look at this one here. He buys the stock. He buys the stock. He was in the money, and he says, tomorrow I'm going to apply the profits. This has been moving since. So let's change the sharing screen option there. Let's go back. Let's go back. So we are back here now. So let's look at how AMS has played out. So this was the chart on AMS. This was us buying us. We are buying this one from right at the bottom there and expecting this one to push all the way up to the about 1,500. So this was 177. This is where I got the stock around 177, and the target is 1,600 there, as you can see. So let's have a look at how this one has played out. AMS, that is the stock that I am currently holding for the last couple of weeks. So this is AMS. Let's have a look at it. All right, so this was the entry here. That's your entry. As you can see here, right around 177. How much has this stock gone? This stock has gone from 1,170. Now it is on 1,433. That is almost a 40% gain since we bought the stock. It's a 40% gain since we bought the stock. So this indicator applies whether you are buying stocks, cryptocurrency, indices, any market. Elliott wave theory is applicable to all markets, and that's how we traded that. Right, so that's what we had for the week, and that's your trade of the week. We'll be going through that, and we'll be looking at the rest of the charts as well. Let's start with the market analysis for this week. We'll start with the US dollar pairs. We'll start with the DXY. Now the DXY, the structure here may have changed slightly. I'm just going to show you the structure. So the DXY and the euro may have ended the move here. And what it looks like here, it looks like we have started a pulsing move to the downside on the DXY. Okay, so we had that policy move that we've put on, you can check the previous videos on the structure and the labeling on this one. So it starts with a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. Now, all along while this was coming down, we were actually thinking that this was going to make a 3-wave structure here, or a W, X, Y, X, Z, and bounce to the upside. But as it's going now, if you remember, for the last couple of weeks, while the DXY was here, we've just been saying we're looking for continuation to the downside, because the indicator was showing us downside the whole time this was here. We just kept getting continuation to the downside. Even when we were here, we had this pullback. We expected continuation to the downside, but our expectation was for the DXY to only reach this level and bounce back. But as you can see here, it looks like on the euro, we've already broken this level. We've already broken this level on the euro. So that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is showing us there's going to be further weakness on the US dollar. This is on the daily. So if we break this level, we're not just going to break it in a straight line. We should see a pullback. We will see a pullback at some point, whether this breaks a little bit and pulls back like that. This will result in this one, in the DXY continuing lower. But at this point, we've made 5 waves. After 5 waves, we need to see a pullback, and that pullback should come in 3 waves. Whether it's a single or a double doesn't really matter, and that is what we're going to be looking for on the DXY. Until that confirmation comes, let's look at what the DXY looks like on the short term. Do we have any indication of reversal? We don't have any signs of reversal as yet. So this is still going to continue lower. When this reverses, the indicator will tell us that we've reached the reversal point, and then we start looking for upside. But even that reversal will just be a bounce, because then we'll have that corrective structure, the deeper corrective structure that we are looking for after the 5-wave move. That is exactly the case with the euro, with euro US dollar. Let's go again to the daily on euro US dollar. So euro US dollar on the daily, you can see it also makes a 5-wave move to the upside. So that means on the euro, we had this policy move, we had this one here. This looks like this was the end of the move, and it starts the upside here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The DXY is around this level. This one has already broken out here. So we can start getting the pullback here, deeper pullback on the euro. And if that is the case, that means further weakness on the US dollar. So the euro will keep pushing higher. Until we see any signs of reversal, we're going to be looking for upside on the euro. All right, so this is how we traded the euro in the week. So if this was the forecast on the weeks, let's see what the members saw here during the week on the US dollar pairs. This is what the members get on every week. So these charts are always updated. Our charts are updated daily. As you can see, this is what we expected. We expected continuation to the upside on the euro. We have now reached this level here. Let me just make sure that the chart is visible. We have now reached 1,600 on euro US dollar after breaking that level. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. Next one is pound US dollar. Pound US dollar, we expected it to push a little bit higher. It has now pushed up to about 27. Let me zoom on to this one as well. As you can see, this is what the members were seeing. We were looking at this as a continuation pattern to around this level. We've gone up to 27.60 in the week. That is what we're looking at. So we're expecting a pullback. Whatever pullback we're going to have on pound US dollar, similar to what we have on euro US dollar, expecting a pullback. That will just be a pullback, and we'll expect continuation to the upside. All right, the next one is US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD, you've seen what the DXY is doing. As you can see here, we expected this one to continue lower. We are now around this level. I've seen a bit of a bounce here on Friday. Let's just have a look at the current chart on US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD should still continue lower though, and follow what the DXY is doing. So this on the daily, as you can see, it is impulsive and it looks like a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna expect this one to break lower here and then expect the pullback. So it is still bearish, and this is because of the weakness in the US dollar. 5 waves down, pullback, and then continuation to the downside on US dollar CAD. What is the next immediate move? Do we see any reversal yet? Let's see on the 4 hour in the immediate term. Short term here, we're still seeing continuation to the downside. There is no indication of reversal as yet, so this will still continue lower. Will it only just get here and bounce? So the bounce we do expect, that will be the pullback. The bounce will only get to this level, but this will continue lower if that bounce comes. If it doesn't come, this can just go straight then. So we'll see when we get to this level whether US dollar CAD will bounce or not. All right, so let's look at the rest here. US dollar chief, similar. If you look at US dollar chief from right here when it broke here, has gone down up to 92. Let's look at the current chart. It has already gone down here. We've got a bit of a bounce, but that is not a reversal on US dollar chief. Let's have a look at it. US dollar chief, that was that entry that you saw on the site here. So this is what members got here, breaking lower here. That is where we are on US dollar chief. That is going down all the way straight like that. So let's just go back to that one here. That is, I'm looking for, why did I lose it? Let me just open it again. So this is what we have on US dollar chief. As you can see, this was then, and this is where we're looking at here. So you saw that I've shown you the trade setups in the week. That is the actual trades that we have placed with all the members during our live trading room. Now, the rest of these are listed on the website before the moves happen, as you can see. This is US dollar chief, that is US dollar CAD. Now, Audi US dollar, let's have a look at Audi US dollar. Our views have changed on Audi US dollar because initially, if you remember, we were looking for this one to come around this level and drop. In fact, we were actually looking at this one to be possibly making a triangle. We invalidated that triangle when we got to this level, and we saw that the indicator was telling us upside when we got to this level. It was not showing downside. That is why we changed the view around this level and started looking for upside on Audi US dollar. And this is how the members saw it before it happened here on the website. That is what the members saw. So this is the move here. As you can see, this was before the break of this. Audi has now gone around this area. This on the 1 hour, it has already pushed up to this level. This is how this one has played out. That is what members get on our website. All right, and just the same will be, let me just close some of these windows, will be New Zealand US dollar. New Zealand US dollar on the 1 hour, as you can see, we changed our view. We're also expecting that this one has ended here. It's going to make a flat correction. We expected this, but the indicator was saying otherwise. This is where most Elliott Wave will get it wrong, because you only have the structure to look at. We don't just look at the structure, and we don't have an alternative. If we're looking at downside and the indicator shows us otherwise, then we're going to follow with the indicator. The indicator supersedes everything. This is a computer generated chart, and we can actually read the indicator with the naked eye because it's reading the data that is underlying and it's easier to read. So that's why you see here, we had continuation to the upside because that's what the indicator was telling us. All right, so our members see these before they happen. This is where we were. At this point here, we were looking for downside, but the indicator showed us different here, said upside. Now, what is the next move for the week? In the next coming week, expect continuation to the upside. Indicator is still telling us upside. Expect further weakness on the US dollar. Whether it is Audi US dollar, whether it is New Zealand US dollar, expect upside. We're expecting further upside. All right, so that's how simple it is. US dollar ZAR, we had a bit of a bounce there together with the US dollar CAD. So US dollar ZAR, obviously we've got the US dollar as the base pair here. So even if this one can come and retest the 1760 area here, US dollar ZAR can still come down there. We can still see weakness of the US dollar against the South African rand. All right, so that's what we have on the US dollar pairs. Let's look at the yen pairs now. Now, looking at the yen pairs, Audi, this is pound yen. Pound yen for the next week, expect continuation to the upside. We're still expecting continuation to the upside. Easy, just as simple as that. This corrective structure is not done as yet. It is still going to play out. We're still going to see further move to the upside. Look for upside. US dollar yen, I've already shown you this one under trade setup. Trade setups, if you're looking for the structure here, this should continue lower here because we are looking for this structure on US dollar yen. I've shown this one. I've shown you this a couple of weeks back on US dollar ZAR, not US dollar ZAR, US dollar yen. So when we had this corrective structure, this is where you saw that setup for downside here on US dollar yen. We've got this one. We're holding this one into our portfolio. Euro yen, we expect obviously the yen pairs to go together, but euro yen will go higher because of the strength in the euro. This will push higher. Expect a push to the upside to at least retest this previous high here. That's all you need to know for next week. This is going to push higher, breaks this low, is going to break and go. That is what we're going to look at when we get to this level. Chief yen, expect upside in the week. Do not just go and buy at market open. You need to wait for confirmation on this. So this is Chief yen. You're looking for upside, continuation to the upside. So Chief yen and Euro yen are the only yen pairs that are looking upside. Rather, three of them: Pound yen, Euro yen, and Chief yen. They're looking upside. CAD yen, bit of a bounce because of the yen pairs pushing a little bit higher. We're gonna see this one correct here, while the rest are going up, and then we're going to expect this one to continue lower. The structure we are looking at here is this one. Okay, you want to see the structure on Chief yen? Let's have a look here. The chart is not complete on this one here, so let's just have a look here. So Chief yen is still pushing higher. We've got this one as an A, as a B, and we'll be looking at this one to possibly make a C there. So that is what we have here on Chief yen, continuation to the upside. Let me look at this one on the daily. Let me just switch off here so we can look at the structure here. Chief yen, this is actually a move up and move back, and we're looking for this one to continue to the upside. That's why this is going to continue to the upside on Chief yen. All right, so that is what we have. Let's have a look at it on the website here under the yen pairs. Let's just have a look. Our technical trader here is telling me that we should see how the members traded it, the yen pairs as well. Right, so let's have a look here. Yen pairs. We're looking at Chief yen. Chief yen. Right, so this is Chief yen. This is what I think this is what you were alluding to. This is how this one has played out, a continuation to the upside on Chief yen. We've pushed up higher there. Let's have a look at the live chart on the 1 hour. Let's have a look at it. So this is where we got it. This is where what members saw before it happened. Let me go on the 1 hour. Members got this one when on the break of this. On the break of that one. Okay, it's already there. On the break of that, that is where members got that one. Break and push higher. It is still going to push to the upside. All right. You can even see here, there was a nice entry point here with this corrective structure. Okay, I was actually not trading this one myself, but this is what we list on the website. Members who've attended the course know how to take those trades when they see the forecast. Right, nice one there. Thanks, Sandile. That is Chief yen, Audi yen. Let's have a look at Audi yen, pushed up higher. This is one of those that we expected to push lower. If you look at previous videos, based on this, we're looking at them to do structures like this, right? Why were we looking for that structure? Let me just show you the structure before. This is a regular flat. Well, that's what we're looking at, and it doesn't mean that you're forecasting wrong. That is what the chart is showing you. But the indicator is clear. It tells you exactly what the next move is, and that is why you see this one having pushed up higher in the week. Let's go to Audi yen. Let's look at Audi yen. This is where the view changed. All along around this area, we were expecting this one to go further down. Let me go to the 4 hour. It's a lot clearer. We can see the whole structure on the 4 hour. All along on this one, we're expecting a move to the downside, and I'm sure other waivers will expect the same thing as well. If you do not have an indicator that invalidates one of your forecasts. So we had this one, looking at this one to be a 3-wave structure here, looking for this one to continue to the downside. But when we got to this level, we didn't get the drop. We didn't get the drop that we're looking for here, because that's what we're looking at. What does the indicator tells us? You see us listed on the website. When that view didn't play out, we looked for this trade to the upside. So it's not about the forecast. It's not about the numbers and the labelings here. You need to get the structure right, and it must be confirmed by the indicator. New Zealand yen is the same here. Let's have a look on New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen, a push to the upside and then downside, as you can see. So this one was let me just have a look here. This was Audi, and then this is New Zealand. Right, so New Zealand, a push to the upside and then downside. Let's have a look at the current chart. Look how this plays out. A move to the upside and then downside. We're going to move to the upside and then downside. This is when we were right here at the bottom. That's the move that you see there. This was these are old lines here. So we are now looking downside. What is the next move? Expect a bit of a pullback on the yen pair. So that pullback will be something like this on gold. So we'll expect a pullback and continuation to the downside, and gold is a pullback, and we expect downside because they are inversely proportional to the yen pairs. We've already looked at gold and silver, continuation to the upside. Platinum, let's have a look at platinum. It's going to continue higher. I am still holding my local stock, and this is still showing signs of further upside. Signs of further upside, we're still going to be holding onto platinum. Let's look at Brent crude. Brent crude is crawling higher in a diagonal. So eventually we will see this one drop, but doesn't matter when it drops. For now, what do we see? What is the indicator telling us? It is telling us that we're going to see another upside on oil. So expect another upside. We still only have made a motive wave, and we'll only expect a pullback when this confirms. As it is for the next coming session, we still expect a push to the upside. We were actually expecting a bigger corrective structure on oil. All right, let's look at the pound pairs. We already have a trade of the week on this one. Right, so guys, when I post trade of the week, I don't show you guys this. This is only for members. I don't give stops and I don't give stops and entries. You have to use your own strategy, because I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm showing you the forecast, what we're expecting the market to do, and you need to use your own strategy to trade this. So this is what we're looking at for our trade of the week. Check it out. Let's see how that plays out. Audi, pound Audi. So pound Audi, we're expecting a bounce on pound Audi as well as pound New Zealand. Let's have a look at this one. So this will be wave 5 here. We've got 3 up here, 3 down. Is this going to make another 3 up here? Then we'll expect this one to continue lower. But for the next coming sessions, pull back and then further upside before coming down. That is pound Audi and New Zealand as well. New Zealand, if you look at the New Zealand, let me see if I can, let's go to the pound pairs on the New Zealand. Let's see if we've got that forecasted like that. Pound pairs, let's have a look at the pound pairs. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, we've got this one here doing that, and that is what we're getting on pound New Zealand. As you can see, that is a wave 4. We're still pushing a little bit higher. Let's go back to the live chart. As you can see here, we've got this one doing that 1, 2, 3, pushing lower here. This is a whole corrective structure actually. We've got 3 waves up here. These can be another 3 wave up here. I'm not drawing it correctly here. Let's just have a look here. What we had initially was this one to make 3 waves here. After the 3 waves, we dropped for the last move, and now this is going to be a 3-wave pullback. Together with Audi, we'll expect this one to come down. We are bearish both pound Audi and pound New Zealand for the medium to long term. Right? Pound CAD, I showed you this one is our trade setup. We had a sell setup here that dropped 50 pips and reversed. So what is the expectation here? We're only expecting this one to come here, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, like that. So we've got 3 waves up. Are we going to take this top and make another 3 waves down? If we do, we are going to make another one, because the bigger structure will be a continuation to the upside. But if we do correct at current levels and break this level, that means we're going to have a change in structure in this format. This is going to be a W, this is going to be our X, and this is going to be our Y. 1, 2, 3 like that, and it's simple. The lower degree will be this. 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's put back here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Simple as that WXY structure. Then we'll expect this one to drop because medium to long term, we're expecting pound CAD to drop. Euro pound. Let's have a look at Euro pound for the next week. Expect Euro pound to push higher. We've made a move up. We made this expanding flat. Expect this to continue higher in the next week. Euro Audi. Euro Audi. Let's have a look here on Euro Audi. Let's look at the euros. Let's look at the euros. Euro pairs, and we look at Euro Audi. You'll see some magic there. Let's have a look. I think I should have, I wanted to show you that one during trade setups as well. So Euro Audi, look at the magic on Euro Audi. We expected a move to the downside and then upside. Okay, how did that one play out? A move to the downside, exactly where we focused it, down here, and it makes a move to the upside. So we are expecting it to come and take this top here. So when you have wave theory, you know you've got a GPS for how the market moves. Obviously, you still need to make use of risk management because there is no holy grail still. I don't want to overhype you guys. There is no holy grail. You still have to work hard to understand this the way we do. Right, so this is Euro Audi, and this is how we played out. I like it when this kind of magic happens because it just shows you how accurate the strategy works. Right, so that is Euro Audi. Expect a bit of a push to the upside. A pullback can be bought. Okay, now this is going to invalidate our setup if it breaks above this level. We have been calling for this one to drop for the longest time. Is this going to now start dropping and making an expanding flat? So we'll be watching this one for the next week. If we start making a corrective structure here, the focus that we have is going to be invalidated. As it is, we're still expecting that move to come. Okay, but the indicator is not giving us confirmation as yet. It's not showing us anything on this one yet, but when it does, we will be looking to take that one down if we get that confirmation. Euro Chief. Now, Euro Chief, if we look at the structure with the naked eye, it is showing us downside. Okay, the expectation on Euro Chief was that this was going to make a move down. We've got this one as a three-wave structure. After this three-wave structure, we expected this one to continue lower. But this looks like a continuation pattern. Is this going to make a move to the upside before it drops? But if you remember, we've got Pound Chief as the trade of the week, and we're looking for downside. So this may just continue to the downside as we are expecting because of the strength in the Chief. Okay, because of the strength in the Chief. All right, so let's see how this one plays out. Let's look at it on the 1 hour, or rather still on the 4 hour. Look for this continuation pattern to the downside. It's not showing upside, but downside. That's the case for the Chief pairs. Everywhere where you've got a pair that has got a Chief as a quoted currency, it's looking downside. And one of those is Audi Chief, and you've seen Audi Chief on the website as well. Audi Chief, we've caught that one from the blue box. Let's just pull back here. This is Audi Chief from the blue box. Shown you this one. So that is why you see Pound Chief as our trade of the week as well. This one, we've got it right from the top, but Pound Chief, we're getting it here. Let's see how that plays out. Let's continue. That is Euro Chief, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, continuation to the upside up to this level. We're still expecting this one to play out as a corrective structure and then downside. No reversal there yet, but this one should push up higher, make a regular flat, and we're still expecting downside. Audi CAD. Audi CAD, we see an impulsive move to the downside, but this is showing us upside. Are we going to get a pullback and a push to the upside? We're seeing a push to the upside. Audi Chief, I've just shown you Audi Chief. The pair that I'm more interested in is this one. If I get an entry here, I'll be holding this one for a long time. So this is Audi New Zealand. It has made a three-way move to the upside. Is this going to be a three-way pullback and then we continue to the upside? If we get an entry here, I'll be looking for this one. I'll be holding this one for the long term because this one is still going to make a big move to the upside. We're expecting a bigger move to the upside, right? Unless it plays out this corrective structure. But whatever I'm going to get here for upside, if I get a corrective structure and upside, I'm going to take this one because what we are looking for overall is this, whether this is all the correction and then upside. If it is not all the correction, it will play out like this. One down and we still get that move. So the move that I'm looking for is this one, whether it plays out now, whether it gives us one more down first, doesn't matter. What matters is when the move starts, I should be able to get it. And in this case, if it starts here, we get a confirmation, we should be able to get that move. That is Audi New Zealand. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD. Expect upside. Oh, sorry, we need to see one more down here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more down. Is this going to be a continuation pattern for further upside? So that upside, that will mean strength in the New Zealand and supporting our forecast for New Zealand, pound New Zealand down for the long term. Right. This is New Zealand Chief. I think if you look at this one on the cross pairs on our website, let's have a look at the cross pairs. So guys, almost 90% of the forecast on our website are correct, accurate. So, but there's a difference between forecasting and actually taking the trades. So the trades that we take, 70% accurate, including break-even trades. This is New Zealand Chief. As you can see, this one has continued lower as forecasted, expected, as well as CAD Chief. So we look CAD Chief, we're expecting continuation to the downside. That is the structure that we're looking at on CAD Chief. And those are all the Forex pairs. Now let's look at the indices. Now indices, I have to show you something very interesting here. What are we expecting here? I have been saying since we got to this level that I am expecting the indices to at least give us a three-wave structure. Whether initially when we got this impulse, I expected this one. But then I saw this one making this bounce and a correction here, so we expected this. Okay, now what we are seeing with how this has played out, something very interesting on the indices. Before you look at this structure, I want you to look at this bigger one here and tell me what you see. I'm gonna do this here. Look at this here. We had, after this big move here, we dropped here like that. After that drop, what did we expect? We expected this one to come down and make a three-way move. It doesn't, and it actually makes a move to the upside. What happens there? It breaks the top there. After breaking the top, what happens? You get this big move to the downside. Okay, now I am going to move away from here. This was December 2019. This played out between July and December 2019. Right, now let's come now to this lower degree. And this was playing out in the bigger structure. Let's go to the current levels. Now you'll tell me what you see. This is a different place now. What do we see? Some of you can already pick it up. We see that after that move, that sharp move, we get a sharp move to the downside. What do we get after that? We get a three-wave move. What does that three-wave move do? It breaks the top. What happened after it broke the top? We don't know right now, but we know what has happened in the past. What happened in the past? The purple move played out. The purple move played out. So we are expecting the same thing to play out on the indices, the purple move to play out, and give us the structure that is played out previously in 2019 right now. Okay, so you already see currently we've already started a small impulse. If we start getting a corrective structure, that will be supporting this move to the downside. So look out for this downside, at least back to this level. That's what we call fractals. Let me take out the chart. You'll see that this is exactly the same. That's exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the only move that hasn't happened now that we can predict by what has happened in the past is this one. So let's see how this plays out. We'll check in the next week how this is playing out. So if you look at this and it looks like it's crashing, just remember what happened in 2019. It looked like it was crashing in 2019, but it still came back. It still came back again as well. So let's see how this is going to play out. So the expectation is that the S&P 500 is going to pull back, expect a pullback and continuation to the downside. Same with the rest, Dow Jones as well. I will show you what was happening with the NASDAQ in 2019 and what was happening with the NASDAQ currently. Now this is Dow Jones Industrial, similar structure. What do we expect? We're expecting downside. It's not a crash, it's a pullback, it's a corrective structure, because when that is done, we expect a continuation to the upside. Okay, so but the next move that you'll be looking for, look for continuation to the downside. Now let's look at the NASDAQ. Now the NASDAQ at the time was the only one that had broken the all-time highs. The NASDAQ broke the all-time highs first at that time, that was in 2019. And this one, in this case, it has also already broken the all-time highs. Let's go back to 2019. Let's look at this. So the NASDAQ had already broken this level, pushed up higher. The same thing here, it has already broken that level. What happened after that? It came back. It came back. We're expecting that it will also come back sharply. Let's see how this plays out. This is only fractals and not necessarily wave theory, but that pullback will, as far as the theory is concerned, will just be a corrective structure. Right, we'll see how that plays out. UK 100, expect continuation to the downside. Simple structure here, you've got this, you've got that. Going to be looking for this to continue lower and give us this corrective structure. But look for downside first. Any move, any pullback, you're looking for downside. DAX expanding flat, similar to S&P 500, we're looking for this. This to break lower and then upside. For now, we're not concerned about upside, just look for downside until we get to this level. That is the DAX, Nikkei. Nikkei, also we're expecting 1, 2, and a pullback and then upside. Like I said, we're only looking to see if we're going to have confirmation of these moves to the downside. Nifty is the only one that is still looking upside. Nifty is still looking upside and is supported by the indicator. We are going to see further upside. You saw how this one crashed the target last week from right here at the bottom. It has reached the target and it's going to crash it, and possibly the next level is that one. That is the Nifty. And that's all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and the notification bell so that you can get an alert next time we post a video. Have a great week, guys. Trade responsibly. Don't forget to check out Crypto Corner coming up shortly. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.